Hello and welcome to the Central Television. I am Likon Onabanjo. The top stories at this hour. Muslims in Nigeria join others around the world to mark Eid al-Adha. Akwa Ibom State Governor Umeono officially defects from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. Qatar presents peace proposal to DR Congo government M23 rebels. Details to come your way shortly. We begin with Eid al-Adha celebrations across the country. In Lagos State, President Bola Tinubu joined fellow Muslim faithful at the Dodan Barracks prayer ground in Obalende, Lagos to mark this year's Eid al-Adha. In his 2025 Eid message, the president assured Nigerians that the country's toughest economic days are over, citing signs of recovery and growth. News Central's lead correspondent, Bernard Akede, tells us more.
Hundreds of Muslim faithful gather at the Dodan Barracks prayer ground, echoing prayers and awaiting the arrival of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for this year's Eid al-Adha celebration. The president, who has been in Lagos for over a week, commissioning various projects, arrived to a warm welcome. As soon as he entered the prayer marquee, the chief imam commenced the prayers. In his sermon, the chief imam called on Nigerians to embrace the spirit of sacrifice and extend generosity to the less privileged, not just during Eid, but as a way of life.
Today, the significance about this. The Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah instructed him to sacrifice his son. Later, Allah redeemed that son with a ram. And what is this telling us? It's about sacrificing life. Sacrificing life is germane. For you to achieve any progress, meaningful progress, you must sacrifice.
After the prayers, it was time for the president's Eid message. Representing him, former Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola addressed the congregation, offering words of hope.
That he recognizes the sacrifices that all of us are making, he does not take them for granted, and that all will be well because the sacrifices will not be in vain. He has asked me to urge you, all of us, to continue to be law-abiding, brothers and sisters keepers, and to be peaceful so that we can see the light at the end of our sacrifices.
President Tinubu later spoke briefly to journalists, urging citizens to remain patient and united. He acknowledged the challenges, but stressed that the nation is on a path of progress.
Must come together, be one another's brother's keeper, give your neighbors, love everyone equally. We must pray hard for our troops who are keeping us safe, making the sacrifices in the challenges that we face in terrorism and banditry today. We must pray for them specifically, and we must remember their sacrifices and continue to be of good behavior.
Other worshippers also shared their thoughts on the significance of the celebration.
What we should do is to come together as one and avoid anything that will cause acrimony between us and positively work towards moving the country forward.
As the crowd dispersed to begin their Eid festivities, the central message of the day rang clear: sacrifice, unity, and hope for a better Nigeria. In Lagos for News Central, Bernard Akede.
In Kano State, Muslim faithful in Benin City joined millions across the globe to celebrate Eid al-Kabir, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice. Worshippers gathered in large numbers at the Eid prayer ground near Ipoba Slope, where they offered prayers led by the chief imam of Benin Central Mosque, Sheikh Abdul Fatai Enebelele. Also present at the prayer ground was the secretary to the Edo State government, Musa Kilo, who called for unity and peaceful coexistence.
We don't have any alternative than for us to continue to work with the tenets of what Sayyidina Ibrahim taught us to follow. For example, he was an exemplary character, a symbol of righteousness, a symbol of faithfulness, a symbol of perseverance, a symbol of sacrifice, a man who was very transparent and who was able to sacrifice most of the better things he had for the sake of humanity.
Part of what we learn in this festival is social consciousness. Be good to your neighbor. When you make your sacrifice, you are expected to share it into 3 parts. 1 for you, the remaining 2 for your neighbors and your community. So if this lesson is replicated across society, if the rich share with the poor, the able share with the weak, society will be far better, and that will bring a better nation.
The one thing about the ram is that it's spiritual and purified, and we pray that this country should be peaceful.
Going back to Lagos, where entertainment correspondent Sam Dandy was around the city of Ikeja to find out how Muslims and non-Muslims were celebrating the Sallah holiday and if the economy had affected the festivities this year.
Sallah to you, of course, and all our Muslim brothers and sisters celebrating. We're actually at the JJT Park in Alausa, and honestly, I want to say it's not a huge turnout, but maybe we'll find out from, of course, our fellow Muslim brother who is, of course, here celebrating with his kids inside. I mean, we can see that usually the park would have more people than usual, but it's not such a big turnout, and we'll find out why.
The ceiling has been so amazing, but then the turnout has been so slow, probably because most people are busy at home and busy with this ram, and but by tomorrow I feel most people will come outside.
Actually, the economy is not really smiling at people right now, but despite the fact, people still go all the way, to make things work out for themselves, just to have a merry season.
No matter the situation, just keep pressing on, keep carrying on and all that. Don't let it show in your face. We can't kill ourselves now. We have to come outside to enjoy ourselves and to unwind. Today is holiday.
Things are cost this year more than last year. Like this ram now this year, we are hearing 1 million, and we shall never hear such a thing before. A lot of people are disappointed. So a lot of people say, "Me cut right last year. This year they cannot meet up."
This year's Sallah is different from last year and other years, because this year's Sallah is more joyous.
I thought we were going to show, but everywhere last year, be like this. Upper last year, be like this. But why this year too dry.
Now, it's undeniable that the Sallah celebration is a time of appreciation, love, and sharing. And although many predicted that the economy would affect it, it seems like there's some turnout. Maybe not a lot today, of course, the first day, as the rain has poured, but people are still showing up in great numbers, whether at the JJT or here at the ICM. And we're hoping that the following days, of course, people get to enjoy the celebration, sharing around, and, of course, love from one to another. Well, my name is Sam Dandy. That's much for today. Let's get out of here.
We take you up north in Kano State, where the Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, has led the Eid prayer at the Kano Eid ground barely 24 hours after he announced the cancellation of this year's Eid el-Kabir Durbar, citing the need to ensure public peace and allow the Eid festivities to be celebrated in an atmosphere of peace and comfort. Emir Sanusi II, during a late-night press conference on Thursday, at his palace in Kudu, disclosed this to the world. The Emir explained that the decision followed consultations between the Kano Emirate Council and the state government. He emphasized that the move was made in the best interest of the people to ensure a peaceful Eid celebration. News Central earlier report that Emir Sanusi's lined up activities for the planned Sallah Carnival. However, following the Kano State Police Command's directives, the Emir cancelled the traditional fanfare. Staying in Kano State, fire has razed down many shops at the popular Farm Centre GSM Market in Kano Metropolis on Friday, Sallah Day. According to eyewitness, the fire, which destroyed phones and other valuables worth millions of naira, was said to have been caused by a spark from a converter supplying power to some of the shops. No attempts to keep the fire off by the fire service as of the time of writing. These reports proved abortive. New Central crew reports that the fire service and the Kano Police Command is expected to provide details of the situation very soon. Still on Eid celebrations, every year as Nigerians prepare to celebrate the joyous Sallah, a familiar challenge emerges like skyrocketing airfares that make travel nearly impossible for many. From families looking to reunite, business travelers rushing to their next deal, or individuals simply hoping to experience the festivities in another city, one thing is certain: the cost of flying soars as high as the celebration itself. New Central's business correspondent Chamun Dabeng tells us more.
For millions of Nigerians, celebrating Eid al-Adha, commonly called Big Sallah with loved ones, is a tradition. But with airfares reaching unprecedented heights, many are left grounded. Although the celebrations coincide with the weekend, the usually lively terminals of Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos appear noticeably quieter. Recent data from the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority reveals a 10% decline in passenger traffic, dropping from 12.05 million in 2023 to 11.55 million in 2024.
The airport is too high still. Many people are already booked since last month. The price is almost 180 something. The price is too high. I have some of my colleagues even never get it.
Basically what we usually experience during festive periods, where we have the airlines charging a little higher and all that. But we have to live with it. But the truth is that it could actually have been better. For the common man, I think it would have been better to keep the price the way it is so that the average person can still be able to afford to spend time with their loved ones. 485.
Business class. In 2021, the base fare for economy class tickets ranged between 25,000 naira to 30,000 naira, depending on the airline. However, prices have now skyrocketed, with one-way tickets costing between 100,000 naira to 200,000 naira. With demand at its peak and airlines adjusting prices accordingly, flying during the Eid period has become an increasingly costly endeavor. But what's behind these soaring fares? Is it simply supply and demand, or are there other factors at play?
First and foremost, you think about the landing cost. You have to look at that, the landing cost. A lot of airlines are complaining about the landing cost, which is just about $300 per landing. Whether that you have a full passenger or not, you have to pay for it. Most of the airlines are leased, and therefore the cost of leasing an aircraft for about a quarter, 3 months or 4 months, if you hear it, it's fully exorbitant.
Persistent challenges such as foreign exchange fluctuations, inflation, and rising prices of jet fuel have continued to drive operational costs higher, leading to increased ticket prices. Analysts suggest that partial regulation of airlines could be a necessary step in stabilizing and reducing airfare costs. In Lagos, for News Central, I am Chamun Dabeng.
We now go on a break. When we return, former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mohammed Wais, passes away at the age of 88. We'll tell you more in a bit. Join us again. Nice to know you're still there. We talk politics now. Governor Melno of Akwa Ibom State has officially defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. The governor made this known during an official announcement on Friday at the government house in Uyo, the state capital. The governor said the decision followed what he described as 3 months of wide consultation with stakeholders across the state. He expressed his gratitude to the PDP for their support during his tenure, stating that it was a time for him to make a progressive move. The governor said he decided to join the APC, citing his admiration for President Bola Tinubu and the need for Akwa Ibom State to align with the federal government to reap continuous benefits. Well, to discuss this, we're joined by the convener, PDP Youth Alliance for Good Governance, David Godwin. Mr. Godwin, thank you so much for joining us. And we also have a political analyst, Jide Ojo. Mr. Jide Ojo, thank you so much for joining us to talk about this.
It's my pleasure, Dapo.
It's Leko anyway. I'll start with you, Jide. Now, Governor Umaino has finally defected to the APC. What do you think fuels this boldness by these governors to decamp?
Yes. Please come again.
So I said, now that we understand that Governor Umaino has finally defected to the APC, what actually fuels the boldness of these governors to decamp to other parties?
Well, Lekon, the truth is there is no constitutional or legal encumbrances to defection of an executive member of executive person, whether it's president, vice president, governor, or deputy governor, down to state, down to local government chairpersons and vice chairpersons. The law is already settled. You can defect. There is no legal encumbrances. We have seen, this is Governor Umaino's defection is the 8th defection by a PDP governor to APC since 2014. 8th. And in none of these had the Supreme Court ruled them out of order. We have also seen way back in 2007 when Vice President Atiku Abubakar defected from the PDP that brought him to power to Action Congress, under which it contested the 2007 presidential election. The Supreme Court in that landmark judgment, Locus Classical, said the joint ticket of a president and a governor ends at inauguration, and as such, a governor can afford, a president or vice president, governor, deputy governor can defect. In fact, there was a very curious one, a very interesting one in Sokoto, I guess, where the governor defected to APC and the deputy governor decided to stay back in PDP. And that's how they ended their tenure. So, unlike the legislative arm that have these encumbrances as stipulated in Section 69, subsection 1G of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as altered, where it says there must be factionalization, at least at the headquarters of the party, before you could justifiably differ from one party to the other. In the case of the executive, there is no such orders for you to cross.
Okay. Now, I mean, we also have the writings on the wall anyway, and the governor had earlier pointed to PDP's internal crisis as part of reasons for his political shift. But then would you blame him?
Well, I won't blame him. Don't forget, Lekon, political parties have been converted into a special purpose vehicle in Nigeria. At least I know that for certain. Unlike football teams, where you could say somebody is a gunner for life, that is a supporter of Arsenal, or Blues for life, that is a supporter of Chelsea. You can have great-grandparents having the Chelsea supporter down to their children, down to their grandchildren. You can have Red Devils for life or Liverpool for life. But when it comes to the game of politics, there is nothing like for life. In fact, that's why you see, when you look at the South region, for some 15 years, it was like it's a PDP state or PDP zone. But when Professor Benayade defected, he changed the color. When I think it was aside from Adam Sushomole, we have had former Governor Godwin Obaseki defecting from APC to PDP, Heaven did not fall. So this man has seen he needs a re-election in 2027. And don't forget, Lekon, his state has produced the number 3 citizens of Nigeria today. That's former governor who is now president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio. And he does not want to be in opposition, so that if he joins the number 3 citizen in APC, if President Bola Tinubu wins re-election in 2027, that means there is likelihood that Godswill Akpabio will be retained. So the state will get that state number 3, and his own chances of getting the election will be brighter. So it's all about self-interest. He said he consulted for 3 months, and that yesterday night he concluded his consultation. But even before yesterday, he had already hinted about 2 weeks ago that unless you are not listening to news, he's on his way out. And he gave a credible reason. He said there is a leadership crisis in PDP. He said a situation where, as of now, there is nobody can say who exactly is the official national secretary of PDP. And that he doesn't want a situation where he will win a re-election under PDP and the court will cancel that election on the ground that he was not properly nominated, and that he doesn't want to run that risk, which is part of the reason he gave some 2 weeks ago why he wants to defect.
Okay, so you're saying that that move was based on personal selfish interest, so to speak. But he said that he had to link that decision to the need to align his state with the federal government so that the people and the state can benefit more.
Again, it's not far from what I said. Number 3 citizens, just imagine what you can bring to your state, the development you can bring to your state as number 3 citizen. In terms of constituency projects, don't forget that number 3 citizen is the chairman of the 2 chambers of the National Assembly. And look at multi-trillion naira constituency projects that were loaded into 2025 budget. I think it's about 6 trillion according to budget. Significant part of that will be given to number 3 citizen who will bring it to his state. So it's part of both personal and for the interest of the state. I can say that conveniently. But more importantly, it's more personal than for the people. Because he is not the number 3. But now he will be able to work with number 3 to bring bigger and better dividends of democracy to Akwa Ibom State. So it's about survival. Most of the people who are defecting today are either looking for one of these 4 things, Lekon. They are either looking for 2027 tickets, or they are looking for contracts, or they are looking for influence to protect their business interests, or they are looking for appointments. Those 4 reasons, I can guarantee you, there is no one who has defected without any interest. And as we know, politics is a game of interest. There is no permanent friendship or enmity in politics. It's about interest. Just last month, we had Sheriff Oboro Warrior of Delta defecting from PDP to APC. Now, there are 2 states left for PDP in South, which used to be their home zone. There is only Bayelsa and Rivers. And there are already insinuations that Fubara before the end of the year may also defect as part of wanting to survive the next election. Because right now, he's on 6-month suspension. He just went to see the president a couple of days back. You don't know what they have had, the kind of discussion they had behind the scene. But there are already speculations that he too may defect.
Now,
who knows? Doyediri too may follow suit. But the most important thing you need to know is that political party system has been turned, unfortunately, has been turned into a special purpose vehicle that are discarded after every election.
Jide, so with this defection now, state structures will definitely certainly be collapsed into the APC in Akwa Ibom. But then if PDP fields another candidate in 2027, do you think they'll be able to put up a brief fight?
I doubt. I doubt because this will not be federal and state might. The governor is APC now. The number 3 citizen is APC. And whoever is going to be brought by the PDP, I don't see anyone who can withstand Umoeno. Not because politics cannot change, but I see that even as we speak, the misfortune or the debacle of PDP has not been resolved. And even Bukola Saraki said that much, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? He said he expected many more of PDP to defect because he has just been inaugurated to reconcile the members. And even in my state of Osun, where people thought is PDP all the way, you could see someone like Olushola who has won about 6 or thereabout election under PDP, defecting to APC. So there is no homogeneity in terms of state that this state is APC or this state is PDP. In fact, you will be surprised that if the purpose suits Umoeno before 2027, it can still defect from APC. I've seen it happen. The case of Ochendo, the former governor of Abia State, Theodore Oji, within 2 months, defected into 3 political parties. He left the PPA, moved to ABGA. Within a month of entering ABGA, he defected to PDP. And I think maybe not in this dispensation, he became a member of the the Senate under the PDP, but he was first elected into governorship seat under PPA, which was Ojiuzo Kalu's party.
Okay.
But the two of them, both Imo and Abia governors that were produced by PPA then, were lost to PDP eventually.
All right.
So politics is about interest, and political party has become a special purpose vehicle, unfortunately.
Well,
but it is what it is. We have to live with it right now.
Of course, politics in Nigeria is dynamic. Thank you so much, Jide Ojo, for sharing your thoughts with us.
My pleasure. Do enjoy your Sallah break if you do have one.
Of course. In a related development, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde on Friday advocated a single term of 5 or 6 years for elected political office holders across all levels of government in Nigeria against the current double term of 4 years each. He made this known while playing host to Muslim faithful alongside traditional rulers and political office holders in his Ikolaba private residence in Ibadan, the state capital, shortly after the Eid-el-Kabir prayers. The delegation was led by the state's deputy governor, Bayo Lawal. While speaking, the governor explained that a single term of 5 or 6 years is enough for any government to focus and serve the people and deliver on its mandate. Let's also tell you that the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought has unveiled a national action plan on electoral reforms aimed at addressing structural and cultural flaws in Nigeria's electoral system. The initiative, developed in partnership with the political commissions of the Nigerian Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, and the Inter-Party Advisory Council, seeks to spotlight and push for far-reaching changes in the nation's electoral process. The action plan makes key recommendations focused on strengthening the independence and transparency of the Independent National Electoral Commission, as well as improving the integrity of electoral adjudication by the judiciary.
So we want to focus on improving the transparency and accountability and the quality of decision-making mechanisms of INEC. This also has to do with the appointment process. It might be difficult to take the power away to them for the president, but it might be possible to create context and conditions for exercise of that power that make it less discretionary and subject to abuse.
Without a free, fair, and credible electoral process, you won't be able to enthrone leaders who are committed to nation building, who are committed to improving the lives of the people. And based on the voter apathy, I have told people that we must also look at provisions that will encourage voting in one day, or putting all our votes in one day.
You know why people are not voting is because they've lost confidence in the electoral system. So we're not, in fact, you're not going to call this a democracy when the people are not voting. So please, and all of us are involved. We must go out there. We must achieve results here from what we are doing so that we can build that confidence in the electorate.
The Edo State government has trained over 1,470 security corps agents to combat insecurity. The agents passed out after a 2-week intensive training by the Nigerian Army. Speaking at the passing out of the corps agents, Governor Monday Okpolo, represented by his deputy, said the reorganization of the Edo State Security Corps is to enhance professionalism and assist in tackling insecurity. The governor said the former structure was politicized and ineffective, prompting urgent reforms. The new corps, drawn from 30 local government areas, will support police and other agencies in intelligence and low-level operations.
It was observed that the existing security agency were overstretched and needed support. In this regard, Edo State government established Edo State Security Corps backed by Edo State Security Corps Governance Law 2024 to assist the police in intelligence gathering and low-level operation combat criminality.
Today marks a significant milestone in the Edo State Security Corps recruitment drive, as it marks the culmination of a 2 weeks rigorous training conducted by the Nigerian Army to assist the Corps to be more effective and efficient in the performance of their duties.
Away from that, former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Muhammad Uwais, has passed away at the age of 88. His death was confirmed early on Friday by Ondo State Attorney General Dr. Kayode Ajulo. Born in Zaria, Kano State, Uwais served as Chief Justice from 1995 to 2006, making him the second longest-serving CJN in Nigeria's history. He was appointed to the Supreme Court at just the age of 43 and was widely respected for his integrity and legal insight. After his retirement, Uwais chaired the landmark electoral reform panel under President Umar Yar'Adua, advocating key reforms to Nigeria's electoral system. Tributes are pouring in for the jurist, remembered as a pillar of Nigeria's judiciary. Now we'll tell you that stakeholders in Nigeria's technology, media and telecommunication sectors gathered in Lagos for the 4th edition of the TMT Business Series, an exclusive high-level forum focused on policy, innovation and investment in the digital economy. The event, convened by commercial law firm Duale Ovia and Alex Adedipe, brought together government officials, entrepreneurs, regulators and investors to explore strategies for building a sustainable and scalable digital ecosystem in Nigeria. News Central's Suwe Sianyo has the details.
Welcome to the 4th annual TMT Business Series.
The 4th annual TMT Business Series 2025, hosted by Duale Olivia and Alex Adedipe, brought together top stakeholders in Nigeria's digital economy, including policy makers, investors, legal experts, and tech innovators.
There is no future for Nigeria without the digital economy.
Because for us to truly leapfrog productivity across key sectors, we must prioritize investment in digital infrastructure.
It's an important event, and it speaks to the role of the digital economy in ensuring that that goal that we have, we can achieve it by strengthening all of our critical sectors.
Themed Beyond the Frenzy, Building the Infrastructure for a Digital Nigeria, this year's event focuses on critical issues such as innovation policy, tech sector regulation, and digital profitability.
Today we have enough legislations, I would not lie, but in terms of all the necessary support that would make those innovations, those regulations, sustainable and scalable in the long term. So we are hoping that the conversations today would serve as a starting point.
The dream of a prosperous Nigeria that we all have, it's only going to come when we allow businesses to thrive. All right? This is the reason why, though it was difficult, we had to ensure that decision was taken to keep our telecommunications companies alive. Now our expectation of them is, as they now declare profit, that they must invest in equipment to ensure that they can give the best quality of service to our people.
Panel discussions and fireside conversations explored the future of Nigeria's digital landscape, addressing issues such as regulatory clarity, access to funding, and the role of legal advisory in business growth.
If you can build a business model that enables other people to make money in their own small business, you're going to build a unicorn within a shop. 8 out of 9 unicorns in Africa have that business model.
Look at your unit economics and make sure that you're driving a lean operation, especially in a market that could be quite volatile.
You can't just operate a business in any sector without understanding the legal framework surrounding it. No business operates in vacuum outside of a legal framework.
Beyond the panels and pitches, the event created a space for networking, knowledge sharing, and potential deal making, underlining its value as a premium gathering point for the sector.
The business series presents an opportunity for new startups and existing mature companies to assess the landscape and help them improve their processes, tweak their business plans, and take advantage of the opportunities in Nigeria.
For the startups that want to grow, they will need to build products that solve real problems today. Problems that people are waiting to pay money for, or people are already paying money for.
With Nigeria's digital economy projected to contribute significantly to GDP over the next decade, platforms like the TMT Business Series continue to play a critical role in shaping its direction. In Lagos, for News Central, Sewisi Aina.
Coming up on the news, Qatar presents peace proposal to DR Congo government M23 rebels. We'll tell you more in a short while. Then again. Qatar has presented a draft peace proposal to Congo and Rwanda-backed M23 rebels after months of mediation in Doha, and the two sides will consult their leaders before resuming talks. The draft peace proposal is the result of more than 2 months of direct and indirect talks between M23 and Congo held in Doha and mediated by Qatar. Fighting in eastern Congo escalated this year as M23 staged an advance that saw it seize the region's 2 largest cities. African leaders, along with Doha and Washington, are trying to broker a peace deal that will put an end to a conflict with roots in the Rwandan genocide more than 3 decades ago. Outside of Africa, we tell you that Princess Okpeyemi Bright is reshaping what it means to lead with purpose and grace. At just 29 years of age, she is the youngest female mayor in the UK and the youngest ever mayor for her borough, Barking and Dagenham. She is also a passionate advocate for women's empowerment, education, and community development. From blending tradition with modernity to inspiring the next generation, she embodies the spirit of service and leadership that resonates far beyond Nigeria's borders. News Central's international correspondent, Afia Hagen, sat down with her to discuss her journey, her mission, and the impact she hopes to make.
A historic moment in Barking and Dagenham. Princess Opeyemi Bright has become the borough's youngest ever mayor at just 29 years old. Her inauguration last month marked a new chapter for one of London's most diverse communities. Princess took the oath of office in May, pledging to be a voice for the community she grew up in.
It's a great feeling, one that comes with a lot of responsibility, but one that I'm willing to live up to and put in my hard work to make sure that my tenure of office is a success.
Princess has worked hard to follow in her mother's footsteps. She served as a mayor in the borough of Hackney. At just 22 years old, Princess started her life of service as a local councillor. She's determined to show that age is no barrier when it comes to leadership.
So my mum has been a councillor now for over 2 decades. And when we were living in the London Borough of Hackney, she was actually the civic mayor of Hackney in 2006 to 2007. So for me, I've been involved in public service from the age of 9, when I essentially was following in my mother's footsteps, campaigning with her and gaining the intangible experience through watching what my mother was doing. And I mean, I guess the passion grew from there. And then as I grew older, when I went into secondary school, sixth form, I held up leadership positions, which enabled me to put myself in the forefront, representing others, being the mouthpiece for others, and representing the diverse backgrounds of loads of individuals. So then when the opportunity was presented to myself to stand as a councillor in the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham, I took it. I campaigned very hard. It wasn't an easy campaign because there were individuals who, essentially because of my age, were not sure if they were going to vote for me, but long and behold, I was resilient and I won that election, being the youngest at that time in the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham as a councillor.
Her appointment as the mayor of Barking and Dagenham went viral online, attention she's still getting used to.
Having individuals from different walks of life celebrating this victory, for me, makes me feel really good. It gives me the hope to keep going. It makes me really excited, and it also makes me realise that there is a huge support system that I don't even know about, who are there supporting me from the background, which I'm really thankful for, wherever everyone is. But one thing I will say is, I don't want to let the limelight enable me to get carried away. I'm keen to just stay focused and make sure that everything that I've said I will do during this year, I will accomplish, but also at the same time making sure that I'm bringing individuals along with me, enabling people to know what my plans are, how I'm delivering on those plans, and how I plan to make sure my year is a fruitful one. But I'm definitely enjoying it, living in the moment, but soon going to snap out of the honeymoon phase and get straight into the real work that's ahead.
With energy, empathy and a commitment to represent everyone in Barking and Dagenham, Princess Opeyemi Bright's historic appointment marks the start of a new era in local politics. For News Central, I'm Afia Hagan.
In sports, as the 2025 Basketball Africa League playoffs prepare to take a tip-off in Pretoria, Rivers Hoopers head coach Ogo Daudu has officially unveiled the team's final 12-man roster. The reigning Nigerian champions are set to face former title holders US Monastir in the tournament's opening game on Saturday. Rivers Hoopers turned heads in last year's edition in Kigali with impressive performances that saw them defeat some of the continent's top teams and eventually finish in the third place. The team will be looking to build on last year's success and make an even deeper run in this year's competition. And that's all at this hour, but before we go, we'll look at our top stories again. Muslims in Nigeria have joined others around the world to mark Eid al-Adha. Akwa Ibom State Governor Mweno has officially defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. We also told you that Qatar has presented peace proposal to the Congo government and M23 rebels. To send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. Watch us live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, StarTimes channel 274, Arvo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Likon Onobanjo.